How does one become trans OCD? Not trans enough? You've been fighting against it for months despite being the most trans egg ever. I feel like the thing about living around the idea of self-perceived goalposts is if you make the goalposts and you're inherently insecure, then the goalpost will always be moving. You know, like, you can't be the one to set a goalpost in your life if you're insecure about what the goalpost is. And for that reason, living with goalposts in mind just isn't it. Like, think less about, like, hitting a certain point to realize that you're authentic in who you want to be, and just think about the simplicity of it. Sometimes people over-convolute things. Like, something as simple as what is going to make you happy can become a thought process of 50 different things. What are people gonna think? What if I don't like this? What if this is weird? What if this hurts? What if? But, like, take into account risks. Don't just disregard those. You know, take into account also what makes you happy. And ultimately, like, when it comes to being trans, like, I can't tell you whether or not you're trans. Like, that is something for you to decide and to figure out. But what I can tell you is there will never be a point where you decide that you're trans enough. Like, if you wanted to be a female your entire life, I think the only time someone is truly 100% confident in that is, like, if their entire life they've experienced severe dysphoria, and when they hit an adult they realize HRT exists. There's no doubt in one's mind, right? But even in that scenario, I still had to stop and think, my family might disown me and stuff. I had all these thoughts going on. So what I did was I was like, okay, like, what do I want for my future 5 years down the road, right? You know, like, maybe I don't turn out to be the way I want to. Maybe I lose family members, stuff like this. But it's like, ultimately, like, 5 years down the road at the time, I was like, looking in the mirror, I had to imagine I was like without friends, without family. I was just thugging it out myself, but I was happy and independent. Did I want to see a female or a male, right? And I wanted to see a female too in every single scenario that I painted like that. So don't, like, try and form a checklist about what you are, because the truth is, when you try and think about anything in life, if you think about it too much, the quantifiable data becomes infinite. Like, you can think about whether or not you want to go buy groceries today. Then you can start thinking, what if there's a car accident? What if I get in a car accident? Dude, what if I get there and get mugged? What if I get to the grocery store and my bank has been hacked by someone, and I stand at the cashier and I have no money because all of a sudden I have no money because it was hacked? Oh, what if I get to the grocery store and stub my toe? Like, you could think about this stuff infinitely. There is infinite data to take into account with any decision in life. Sometimes emotion isn't necessarily a bad guiding light if you're following emotion based on logic. Like, if you do something that you know you want, you can logically comprehend what you want will make you happy, and going for that will in fact make you happy, then follow that emotion and just follow your heart. You know what I'm saying? Following your heart won't mean that you land into a lottery, but winning the lottery doesn't mean you're gonna be happy. Like, you can win a lottery and you can become miserable. Whereas if you follow your heart and do something that makes you happy, yeah, sure, you might not win a lottery, you might not become super famous or whatever, but you can become happy. You have a much higher chance of being happy if you just follow, like, that internal voice and, like, take into account logic. Like, specifically when I came out, I had to understand that, you know, I needed a backup plan because I was dating someone at the time. We were both paying for rent. We did break up. I planned for that, thank God. I also planned for the fact that maybe me and my dad will never talk again. So I planned a strategy as to how I'm gonna talk to my dad and set myself up for success for our relationship. And we do have a really good relationship because of how I approached it. So, like, logic can help you prepare for things, but logic isn't necessarily always, it's not always what you should follow in life. Sometimes you just have to go out on a limb and do things that are gonna make you happy, whether or not it's scary, you know? Oh, bro, I didn't do it. Here we go. I didn't do this. I didn't go to the therapist lounge. Oh, no, dude. Everything I said is now invalid and wrong, bro. Forget everything I said, dude. We weren't in the therapist lobby. I wasn't in the therapist chair, bro. See, if I'm in the therapist chair, that makes me an authentic, very real therapist because I'm in the therapist chair, but I wasn't. So I was not a therapist, meaning I was not qualified. I'm actually not a therapist. I'm not a qualified therapist. But I am in a therapist chair that I stole.